So hello again. So I'm going to read from the final section of the collection, which is called Dead Rabbits. And I think it's a sort of wide-angle view of humanity's creativity, but also its potential for violence. It looks at Palestine, it looks at Kenya, it looks at climate chaos. And then for me, it circles round at the end to zone in on the Poet's Garden in Brighton. So I'm going to read half a dozen poems from this final section. The first one I'm going to read, there's a three-part poem called A Walk with Federico Garcia Lorca. And this is the final section, and it ends with a phrase from Lorca. A crocodile breaks a muddy surface. The herd of ghost zebra disappears. Does the wildebeest think twice before it crosses a river? Like warthogs back into waterholes, balancing thirst and survival. What's the difference between the real meaning of ambivalence and certainty? Why do fallen stars flash silver and gold when pavements shimmer with rain and oil, reflecting rainbows cut down by the sky? This next poem is called Fuchsia, as in future. God's tears in Manx Gaelic metaphor, unlike the Catholic blood of Christ, the weep of Pope Francis every night for Gaza. There are F-fighters showering shrapnel, not flowers, bodies petalled in red and purple. Few, as in glad it's not me. Shah, as in don't mention it, might jeopardize your career. Per, as in the press, like stigmata, the sins of omission, literally holes in your souls. Ph, as in phenomenal feat, to see through our hands, to forget, as in forsake. This next poem is called Dear Humanity, and it begins with an epigraph from Vasily Kandinsky, and throughout the poem there are quotations from Kandinsky when he talks about colour. So, Dear Humanity, and the epigraph is, violet is red, withdrawn from humanity by blue. Some things keep me awake at night. Almost every piece of advice says, tell them like it is. So here goes. I don't know you anymore. Inside we are white. A harmony of silence shrouds life from our understanding. Serpents feed off fear, shaped by generational memory. I've come to realize you don't count the dead. Question how many people really die from that. Choose not to count all those lives left in ruins. The second antithesis between white and black, a silence devoid of possibilities. Perhaps why too many children say they'd prefer death to this. It's as if every mirror on earth has been shattered. Though I looked at you last week and saw myself. black, motionless, like ashes of a funeral pyre. It's hard to watch a child about to take that breath. Consider thousands of them to be our kith and kin. But can you imagine just one as your own son? Language is supposed to be my thing, so I notice when a sentence doesn't have a subject or object, and different verbs depending on colour and creed. Orange is red, brought nearer to you by yellow. If, whilst held captive, a snake eats its own tail, it has mistaken itself as either predator or prey. And this next poem begins with a quotation from Greta Thunberg. It's called Forest Fire, and the epigraph from Greta Thunberg is, "I want you to act as if our house is on fire, because it is." Pencil and Aleppo pines migrated to the Holy Land from Europe, carefully naturalized amongst the last remnants of villages, Bedouin camps. Native olives bulldozed, uprooted well before their prime. Eucalyptus drained the swamps, sucking water from great depths. It then spread wider, grew fast, starved what lies beneath. Ruined lands, so well covered, even if cyclamens survive with the dead, needles and dried leaves, until their blazes break out in barren soils. Fire breeds fire. Villages burn again in biblical proportions. Scientists say it's common for invasive species, especially in a tinderbox. So I'm going to end with the final two poems in the collection, which, as I said, for me, they circle back to the poet's garden in Brighton. This first one is called Turned Upside Down. Turned upside down, using slates from the roof, bring my 70s stone patio up to a retro state of shattered. At times, we need to take down layered tiles that shield us, smash into unavoidable pieces. Slated fragments fill my paths. The cracks help the storms seep in a good way, like plants' root. I sit on the old cartwheel bench, my broken remains, listen to wrens and robins, instead of facing all that common gull shit. I smell compost, scent hyacinths in sky. And this is the last poem in the collection. It's called Life is There Above the Walls, and it's after Paul Verlaine. The iron stairway is filled with lavender and mint. A flag is, above the walls, a symbol of wind and rebirth. The rooftops across squawking tiles and chimney pots, common gulls plotting their forays above the sea. The world is pigeons roosting amongst the figs like flying squirrels without teeth. Life is there, above the walls, but quietly murmurs here. What will you do below there, dreaming without pauses? Say, what will you do below there with your choices? So please buy some books because it's a great collection and Simon is happy to sign. Thank you. Thanks for listening.